Messi flying forward. Leo Messi! United. Rafael Guerrero with the cross from Ronaldo.
Of course, the Tigers' Hull City had Manchester United stunned by 2-0 on the return to the Premier League for the 2026-2027 campaign. Speaking of United, they've agreed a £70 million deal for the Seagulls midfielder, talking about Carlos Baleba. It remains to be seen if he'll, change the fortunes of the side going into the next Premier League game. Meanwhile, a frank assessment sees the Gunners Arsenal lamp Sky Blues, and at Coventry City, it was as easy as 1, 2 and 3 for the Gunners. What really impressed you most about Arsenal's performance? How well did Arsenal's new signings perform in that very encounter? On Friday night, the result strengthened Arsenal's title credentials 2026-2027. And of course, we'll get to see a London derby. Chelsea would wait up until Monday when they play the Cottagers, talking about Fulham, at Craven Cottage on Monday Night Football, August the 24th. Of course, in the opening round of the new Premier League season, it is a London derby and also Xabi Alonso's first competitive Premier League match as Chelsea manager. The derby day is really dull and never quiet. Can Alonso start his Chelsea reign with a victory at Craven Cottage? Will João Pedro continue his impressive goal-scoring form for the West Londoners, talking about Chelsea? Can the Cottagers Fulham exploit Chelsea's defensive weaknesses? How will Alonso's tactical system, perform in a competitive match? Can Fulham produce a London derby upset against the rivals, talking about Chelsea? On that note, I say welcome to Sports 360 right here on SEM Television. I'm that name, the voice you trust, and that mail you probably need. They call me Rex Patrick the Locker, that homeboy that's never at home. I look around 247-365. I'm your host and guide. I'm not alone today. Dr. Apollos Akumaka returns right here. Dr. Apollo reached out after the Arsenal game last night. First of all, it's a good time to have you right here on Sports 360, Dr. Apollos.
Well, it has always been my pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It feels really great. You really had to reach out to me after the Arsenal game. I'd be like, oh, come on, what's going on here now? I know. Be like, see what team Lampard don't cost.
It's not a Lampard thing.
Oh, it's not a Lampard thing. Okay. Okay, not a Lampard thing. Eh?
No.
Okay.
Lampard put out his best players, and
but his best wasn't good enough.
He did what he has to do, but Arsenal was far ahead of him.
Okay, we'll talk more about that right in a bit right here. Well, let's start off with Formula One, where just so you know, George Russell made the ideal start to his attempt to mount a championship fight back in the second half of the 2026 Formula One season by claiming pole position for Saturday's Dutch Grand Prix sprint, as the nearest title rivals Kimi Antonelli and Lewis Hamilton qualified outside the top four. On F1's first day back on track after the sport's 4-week summer break, Russell claimed his third sprint pole in 5 attempts this season as his final SQ3 lap of 1.11 seconds beat McLaren's Lando Norris and Ferrari's Charles Leclerc to the head of the weekend's first Zandvoort grid by under a tenth of a second. But championship leader Antonelli was only 5th quickest in the other Mercedes, an Italian teenager's session compromised after he damaged his car in a trip through the gravel on his first lap of SQ1. Hamilton trails Antonelli by 50 points in the Driver's Seat Championship, with Russell a further 9 points adrift. Points are on offer for the top 8 finishers in today's 24-lap sprint, Russell got engaged to his longtime partner, Carmen Montero, during F1's break, and quipped on Mercedes team radio after his sprint pole was confirmed. He said, "Nice one, must be a bit lighter after that engagement ring." So he joked about that. Oscar Piastri took fourth in the second McLaren, just 0.009 seconds back on pole himself, with Max Verstappen sixth for Red Bull at his home event, but half is a second away from the front amid a disappointing opening day for Red Bull. Indeed, Verstappen and 7th place Hamilton lapped closer to Alpine's Pierre Gasly, whose car, has the Aston team's sole upgrade this very weekend than the pole sitter. 8th place Gasly led the midfield fight ahead of, Audi's Gabriel Bartoletto in 9th, and Racing Bulls is Arvid Lindblad, in 10th. Lindblad denied Liam Lawson, his usual Racing Bulls teammate, but who is racing for the senior Red Bull team this weekend in place of the injured Isaac Hagia. The last top 10 berth on the final laps of SQ2. Lawson, who had 2 ill-fated races for Red Bull at the start of the season, outplays Verstappen in the first session, but lost out on SQ3 berth by 3/10 of a second. So we're looking forward to the main race on Sunday, and it promises to be absolutely exciting going into that very one. From there now, let's move on to football as we tell you that Inter Miami's Lionel Andres Messi Coutinho has been fined for slapping Philadelphia Union's Quinn Sullivan during their side's Major League Soccer 2-2 draw on Wednesday night. Messi, who's 39 years of age, slapped Sullivan around the neck, or around the back, of the head towards the end of the game, as he complained the Union player had elbowed him after he played the ball. Sullivan reacted angrily to the slap, but the referee quickly intervened. The MLS confirmed Messi has been fined, but did not reveal their amount. Messi scored Miami's second goal at Subaru Park, finding the back of the net for the first time since his father passed away. The Argentina superstar was not the only one to clash with Sullivan, as Miami Ian Frey was also fined by the Major League Soccer. Frey grabbed the neck of Sullivan after both players got tangled up, with one another when Sullivan lost his footing in the box. The bad-tempered game ended with 2 red cards, as Miami's Yannick Bright and Sullivan's brother Cavan were both sent off in stoppage time of their very encounter. Cavan's 1-game suspension, however, has now been rescinded after review. Miami are currently second in the Eastern Conference, 7 points behind leaders Nashville. Messi is back in Miami, having been in Argentina for the funeral of his father, who was also his agent. George Messi died aged 68 following a long illness. And in a tribute to his father, Messi suggested he may not continue playing football for much longer. Dr. Paulos, it's disappointing to have him lose his dad. I mean, it's unfortunate at this point in time. I tell you, he was an integral part of his career from birth, let's put it that way, till up until when he rose to stardom. Well, it's unfortunate for Lionel Messi. Difficult time, I would say.
Yeah, and that's why he's saying he may not continue to play for a long time.
Yeah.
You see, there's something that support does, beyond the fact that he's his father, he was also his agent. And that support he has given him right from childhood really helped him to where he is today. So, as tributes, if he wants to stop playing in the near future, it's understandable.
Okay, now let's look at another story making the rounds, and this one has got to do with Al Nassr captain Lionel Andres Messi Coutinho, who has expressed his joy after scoring a goal in his first game of the season for his club on Friday. Ronaldo came off the bench in the second period to score the final goal as Al Nassr defeated Al Riyadh by 4-0 in the Saudi Pro League. First half goals from Abdullah Al-Amri and Angelo Gabriel gave Al Nassr a 2-0 lead at halftime before João Felix scored early in the second half to Ange Postecoglou's side. Reacting to the goal, Ronaldo posted a picture of himself celebrating with his teammate on X and captioned it, "Good to be back." Ronaldo was on an extended break following Portugal's run to the round of 16 at the 2026 FIFA World Cup in USA, Mexico and Canada. He can't stop scoring. He's got less than 30 goals left to complete 100 goals, 100 career goals. Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro is his name, Dr. Paulos.
30 goals left. He will make it now.
Less than, yeah.
Even if it's 30, you know, the man, like you said, he can't stop scoring.
It's difficult
and
to stop
even
him.
at this age, he still does a lot of training to keep himself fit and ensure that he performs on the pitch anytime he's on the pitch. So you expect him to do what others have not been able to do.
All right. Now let's look at another story. We tell you that Tottenham midfielder James Maddison says he and his partner have been in the trenches at home, you know, with 5 children aged 4 and under during a period when he was sidelined from football with a serious knee injury. The 29-year-old missed most of the 2025-2026 season because of the ruptured anterior cruciate ligament injury he suffered last August. During his recovery, Maddison's partner gave birth to their second set of twins. He described it as the toughest year of his life, but credited his family for helping him get through it. He said, "I needed some positive distractions of my partner being pregnant and having to be there for her and forget about myself, even though I was going through a traumatic experience through my knee." He said that despite that, life has not been easy. Yeah, not been easy for that man, James Maddison. It's unfortunate. I mean, this is your space.
the cruciate injury he had.
Yeah.
Well, it's an injury that actually takes long to heal. Most of the ligaments in the body, when they are ruptured, it takes time. And sometimes if you go through surgery, you may even have a longer time to recover, you know. So I understand what he meant when he said he went through a tough time. It could be really, really be tough.
Okay.
You know, but it's a good thing he's overcome than...
Absolutely. I hope he returns really well. Fine player, like a very fine player, you would agree, every day of the year. James Maddison, I love watching him play. All right, so I really love watching him play.
That means you're a fan of his.
Fine player. Let's look at another story on the gossip column as we tell you that Manchester United have agreed a £70 million deal for Brighton midfielder Carlos Baleba. The deal for Baleba is worth £65 million plus £5 million in add-ons. The Seagulls have also inserted a sell-on clause in the deal. Baleba is expected to sign a 5-year contract with United and will undergo his medical in the next 24 hours. The Cameroon international will be the Red Devils' third midfield signing of the summer transfer window after Yuri Telemor and Andre Santos. United have had a long-standing interest in the midfielder dating back to his time at Lille Metropole in the French Ligue 1. Fine player, good addition, Telemor joining, and then Andre Santos, £50 million from Chelsea. Now, Carlos Baleba. He was on the radar of several top teams this very summer, Dr. Paulos. I think it's such a real bundle of energy.
Yeah, it's good signing for Man U. And if you watch him in Brighton, he's a very good player.
Okay.
He's someone that has shown that he can deliver the goods. So good one for Man U.
Oh,
very good one for Man U. But my fear is not just signing players. You must get these players to gel and play a system that is going to win. They've just lost a few hours ago, 2-0.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in the first game of the season.
Does it matter?
Yeah, so you could win your first game of the season and still go on to win the Premier League. It's possible.
Like I keep saying,
you could win your first game of the season and still go on to lose.
Signs of things you expect in the league proper. When Arsenal won 3-0 at the Community Shield, people thought, oh, it's Community Shield. According to you, it's a trip or something. But they've shown yesterday again
Peter
that
Pan said so.
they can do they can do it again and again. And now, mind you, this is their first competitive game for the season, and you're losing to a team that is
The
just
Tigers.
coming from.
Aren't you familiar with Hull City? Arsenal went through a lot back then
see,
against this
we all
when they
know-
gained promotion. Recall, yeah.
No,
Some
see,
years
let me
back.
say this about All City and a few other teams like
Yeah. So
Wigan.
I mean,
Wigan, All City, Sunderland, Stoke. These are teams that can hurt big teams on their day. It doesn't matter whether they are going to relegation or they are coming from relegation. And I think the Man U team would have been more cautious with them. Because if you have the history of a team, you know that this team can hurt you. So you'll be more prepared. You don't take it for granted that, oh, it's All City coming from the relegation.
So you thought, we'll talk about, like I said, we'll talk about United. We'll talk about that when we get to the Prem, all right? Yeah, we'll talk about that. I know you also, Arsenal have won, so you can afford to barge any other team.
I
It's
said
fine.
it over and over. Arsenal is prepared.
For the season.
Yeah, there's a difference between preparing and not preparing.
There are, other teams are also prepared. I like to think. I like to believe.
I agree, every team has prepared, but the prepared,
Some are more prepared.
that's the point I want to make.
So that Arsenal are more prepared.
Some are more ready to win.
Okay.
Some are just there to make the numbers.
Oh. So, it's a good thing. Winning is so sweet. In the words of Pep Guardiola, winning is so sweet. When you win, it sets you right.
Winning gives you all you want. Confidence, it gives you the extra push. It makes you believe that you can do it again and again.
We know. We know. You could win like Leicester in 2015, 2016 and still end up not winning in like forever. So these things have a way of impossible takes a little.
I agree with you.
Okay.
I agree with you. But
So-
not in the case of Arsenal.
No, but the last time they were invincible, like invincible. After that invincible, it'd be like, okay, we've come to stay, and boom, it took 22 years to win the Premier League title. Like I said, what do I know? Okay, no two seasons are the same. Since we're talking about, let's get to the fixtures of games. All right, result from games played across different centers last night, and fixtures of games to expect. All right, today, and some games ongoing already. We start off with the French Ligue 1, where on Friday night, Olympique de Marseille were actually in action. They made a statement on the opening weekend of the Ligue 1 season, sweeping aside Strasbourg, Chelsea's sister club, at home. So the visitors matched their opponent for much of a tightly contested first half. But the game changed dramatically immediately after the interval. Amin Gouiri broke the deadlock just 46 seconds into the second period, calmly converting a precise delivery from Angel Gomez to give Marseille the lead. It was a breakthrough the host needed. The momentum quickly shifted in their favor. The decisive momentum came in the 59th minute of the game. Samir El Mourabet was shown a red card after committing a foul on Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Recall him, yeah? So, leaving Strasbourg with 10 men for the remainder of that very match. Marseille wasted a little time exploiting their numerical advantage. Gouiri converted from the penalty spot to complete his brace and put the result beyond doubt. The hosts continued the push, the push forward in the closing stages, with Kevin Abdallah adding a third before Højbjerg completed the route deep into stoppage time. That was just enough to set them right going into the new Ligue 1 season. It's a huge one. Dr. Paulo's Olympique de Marseille last time, they weren't really bad, mixed result, but then not quite bad, I would say, compared to the performance in recent seasons. So a good start for Olympique de Marseille, beating Strasbourg by 4-0. And something to build on going forward.
Exactly. And if you look at the French league, apart from PSG, teams you can look at are teams like Marseille. These are teams that over the years they've shown that they can compete at the highest level. So starting the league this way, I think, is a good one for them. Like I mentioned, when you win your first game, it boosts your confidence and makes you believe that you could do better. And that's a good one for them.
When you win your first game, it boosts your confidence, like Arsenal. But when you lose, it's demoralizing. Probably like Manchester United.
Exactly.
You were just waiting for me to say that. I know, right? So it's fine. Now let's tell you that there are some games to look forward to tonight in the French League. Let's tell you that at exactly 4:15 p.m. we'll get to see Lens go against Ulster, and for Le Mans they go to date with Stade Brestois at 7:45 p.m. Same time we'll have OGC Nice playing Lorient. Toulouse have got a date with Olympique Lyonnais. Troyes have got Paris FC to worry about. Angers will play Lille Metropole also tonight at exactly 7:45 p.m. And on Sunday, action continues with Le Havre against AS Monaco at 4:15 p.m. For Stade Rennais, it's a date with Paris Saint-Germain at 7:45 p.m. on Sunday night. From there, let's move on to the La Liga Santander, where we saw a game on Friday night as the La Liga hits match day 2. Real Betis against Real Sociedad. Sociedad are now without a win in 7 away La Liga games as they fell 1-0 in their opening game of the season to Real Betis, who have now lost just 2 of their last 14 head-to-heads at Estadio La Catua. So in what was an immediate test of both teams' credentials, a fast start from Betis almost earned them the opening goal inside 2 minutes, but Rodrigo Riquelme failed to hit the target. However, while their hosts remain on the front foot, they really troubled a solid Sociedad's backline, and the visitors eventually began to find the rhythm as the game progressed. Jean Aramburu, in particular, caught the eye from a Sociedad perspective with some sharp passing and movement. In what was proving to be an evenly matched encounter, Hector Bellerin's deep cross caused all sorts of problems for La Real. Now, of course, the goalkeeper of the side, Alex Ramiro, before Anthony fluffed a presentable chance during a Betis foray forward. Shortly before the final whistle, Valles' sensational stop denied Oscarson after the Betis defense had waited for an offside flag that never came. And that proved to be Sociedad's final chance of that very encounter. After qualifying for the UEFA Champions League last term, Real Betis will be eager to continue their progress this term, and this was the perfect start for the side. Sociedad, meanwhile, are also in Europe, having won the Copa del Rey to secure a spot in the UEFA Europa League. But this was, hardly an indication that they can improve on the 2025-2026 disappointment. Yeah, it was a disappointing 10th place finish last term. So Sociedad are looking to build on that. For Betis, a good way to go about business. Anthony Dos Santos, Dr. Paulos, he joined the side halfway before the end of last season. Yeah? Oh, yeah? Wasn't it? Oh, no, 2 seasons ago. His debut season at the side wasn't a complete one. He joined halfway through in January. That was 2024-2025. All right, but he ended up as the best player of the season. How do you explain that? The team has got quality players as well.
And a good coach as well.
A very good coach as well. Fine players every day of the year. So,
and that's why you're seeing them in the Champions League. And I say this because if you have a good coach and you have a team that understands themselves, you could go far in any competition. And this is what you can see in Betis. Betis has been able to click as a team, and they are being guided to the next level, which is the Champions League.
Do they have enough in the tank to deliver, you think?
Well, at the end of the day, there are bigger teams in the Champions League. I don't expect them to over push their weight.
But okay. Well,
they may qualify for the next round. It's 24 teams, but if they do at the round of 16, that may just be the end of the road for them.
Okay. Let's look at fixtures of games today in the La Liga Santander. At exactly 4, would see an encounter pitting Athletic Bilbao and Sevilla. And Valencia will be in action. Of course, Valencia have got Celta de Vigo to worry about at exactly 8:30 p.m. for Catalan side, and that's Espanyol. They got the capital side, Los Merengues, and that's the Little Bears, or call them Los Blancos, the Whites, and that's Real Madrid to worry about. And on Sunday, action continues with, Atletico de Madrid. Yeah, Roy Blancos like to call them. So, Atletico have got the Yellow Submarines, that's Villarreal to worry about at Estadio de Wanda Metropolitano, 4 p.m. the time for that encounter on Sunday. Meanwhile, Getafe will wait until 6:30 p.m. when they welcome Racing Santander. Elche will be in action. They got La Blaugrana to worry about. I'm talking about FC Barcelona. 8:30 p.m. the time for that encounter on Sunday night. And on Monday Night Football, it will be Osasuna against Levante at 6:30 p.m. and at 8:30 p.m. on Monday night, Malaga will lock horns with Deportivo La Coruña. So, interesting, fixtures to look forward to. La Liga Santander returning.
Very
What's it like for teams like Real Madrid, Barca, Atletico going into the new campaign? Can Real, with having the special one back at the aim of affairs, that's Jose Mario Dos Santos Felix Mourinho, would they come pretty good? And they've made some quality signings this very season. From Ibrahima Konate at the back. They had frailties at the back for the most part of the last, how many seasons now, yeah? Now they've brought in Konate. He joined for free. Denzel Dumfries joined from Inter as well. Quality at the back. They got Bernardo Silva. Marco Correa also joined. Barca have also landed Rodrigo Hernandez Cascante. All right, they've brought in Karim Adeyemi as well this very summer. So it's expected to be really cagey. What's your assessment of the new season?
The new season is going to be a battle between Barcelona and Real Madrid by all standards. And my spirit tells me the Mourinho's factor may play. And if that happens, Madrid may just nick the title.
Interestingly, Mourinho knows the La Liga Santander inside out. You know what? He won the La Liga Santander with 100 points the last time he was there, yeah? Against a Pep Guardiola Barcelona side, a Guardiola-led Barcelona side that had Andres Iniesta, at his peak, Xavi Hernandez, Andres Messi Coutinho, Sergio Busquets, Carlos Puyol, go on to mention Gerard Piqué. Yeah. So, I don't know. The special one is back at the helm of affairs and is looking forward to life.
He's going to do special things in Madrid.
You see that happening? Barca seem to be a better team. They are more of a team. Quality players. 8 of the Barcelona players were at the World Cup. They won the World Cup in Spain. So the Spanish national side. Don't you think they have a better synergy compared to their counterparts?
No. You see, I believe that Mourinho is going to instill his principles, and if he does that in the shortest possible time, you see a Madrid team that will win titles. Not only the La Liga.
The UEFA Champions League?
They could go far.
Okay. So I don't know. When I said when I asked if it's the UEFA Champions, you said they'll go far. Are you saying Arsenal? Are you retaining it for Arsenal because
they can get to the final? Okay, if I'm retaining for Arsenal.
No, because that's what it feels like. Because you've been really vocal about that. Because you're trying to be, they'll go far instead of winning it.
They'll go far.
What do you mean? I mean, they're the most decorated side in the history of the competition.
They didn't even get to the semi-finals. So this time around, they can get to the semi-finals.
But Arsenal got to the semi-finals, but I've never won the Champions League. But Madrid have won it the most.
We are talking
up to
about Madrid now.
15 times, Abby?
No, listen. We are talking about Madrid. We are not talking about Arsenal.
Oh, okay, not
let's
Arsenal.
Stick with Madrid.
Okay.
And let's stick with the Jose Mourinho's factor. The thing there is that you have a coach that already knows how to win trophies. So the likelihood of him winning again is, and you have some of the best players in the world going to
best system, best
everything. What else do you want? Is the Champions League is the only team that will challenge Barcelona in this season for the La Liga title
and the UEFA Champions League.
They will go for like
no, they are the most. In fact, they are the best team, the best club in the history of club football. The best team in the history of club football. The most decorated.
We agree.
By all standards, like by reputation and by fact. When it comes to the UEFA Champions League, it's their thing now. They don't need to play well to win. They've proven
they need to.
They don't need to play well to win. Like they've done it time and time. Even when Barca were dominant.
When Madrid was dominant, teams like PSG were not doing this well. You can say that. But PSG is now a force in Champions League.
Barca was doing well.
Yeah, they were doing well, but now they struggle. The teams
No,
that you
Barcelona
can
is
look at,
a really good team now. The last 2 seasons.
Now, I'm talking about Champions League.
Yeah, that's what
Barcelona,
they're saying.
Where did they end in Champions League? Semi-finals.
Semi-finals last season.
And semi-finals previous season.
That's and before that time, the last time Barcelona got to the semi-finals of UEFA Champions League was back in 2015.
So
prior to this last 2 seasons. So that's
saying.
like you keep saying.
They have a period where they've struggled. They're just trying to pick.
Just like like you talked about consistency. Like finishing second, coming close and close. And
so these 2 seasons they've been consistent.
they've shown it actively.
So I expect Barca to do well. Like I mentioned, Madrid will go far. They too can go far. If you get Barca, Madrid, PSG, and Arsenal in the semi-finals.
No, PSG. Why would you?
Then you now.
So what will happen? What happens to Bayern?
What happened to Bayern?
What happens to them?
Bayern can be there. They cannot be there too. It all depends on.
So same as Arsenal, who can be there and.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Okay.
But know that. Okay, let me leave it at that. See, there are good teams in the Champions League.
That's like
why
Bayern. They are a traditional Champions League
These are
side.
teams that most times have won their league titles. So they are not pushovers. Any team you see, it's just that these days the Champions League has been expanded. So you see some teams that are not first, second in their league still fall into. But after the first round of games, you see all those teams go back to where they're coming from.
I agree, true.
And you see the stronger ones that really have that champions mentality go and continue until.
Like PSG, who have won back to back right now.
I am not, PSG, recently we mentioned what their coach was saying, that they are there to win it again. It's a mentality thing.
Yeah.
And see,
Mindset.
one of the reasons why I'm giving Mourinho a chance to do well is because he has the right mentality.
Okay.
If you look at what he did with Chelsea and how he transformed the mentality of
From FC Porto.
Chelsea players, is something that even at Inter. So
at Real Madrid.
So even in Man U when he came,
he won
he wasn't
League.
playing too good football, but he was winning titles. He won 2 trophies for them.
Yeah.
And after then, they've struggled to win another trophy. So he's a coach that knows what it takes to get the trophies. So I won't be surprised if they do very well. That's my point.
You said they can go on. They have all it takes to win the La Liga Santander this season.
No, they do.
It's about the right strategy and approach.
Yeah, they have the players. If they build the team and with the good coach they have, they can go far. Okay.
Now let's move on to the Premier League. We'll start off with the game we saw on Friday night, the opener of the 2026-2027 campaign. The Gunners Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium were absolutely outstanding against the Sky Blues, and that's Coventry City. Arsenal made a flying start, you guys, to their Premier League title defense. It was as easy as 1, 2 and 3 as it thumped newly promoted Coventry City in the season opener at the Emirates Stadium. The Gunners showed their readiness to go again with an impressive demolition of Manchester City in the Community Shield last weekend, and they sent another statement to the rivals for the crown with this demonstration of dominance. Once again, new signing Christos Zolis shone like a million stars. The Greece international notched 2 assists at the Principality Stadium and was involved in Arsenal's first 2 goals of his Premier League debut. First winning the ball back for Ricardo Calafiori to tee up Kai Havertz, and then sending in the cross, Coventry keeper Carl Rushworth diverted into Bukayo Saka's path. This was a reality check for Coventry City on the return to the top flight. After 25 years away, they failed to make a tackle in the first half. They could not get near Mikel Arteta's men. It did not get much better for them after the interval, with Martin Odegaard's miscued finish adding a turn for the Gunners just 4 minutes into the second half. With Ben White, who wasn't off colour, Saka and Odegaard combining brilliantly through the right channel. Christos Zolis electric on the left, and Kai Havertz looking sharp ahead of some slick midfield play from Declan Rice and Myles Lewis Kelly. Arsenal already looked up to speed and formidable. Their defense was barely tested, but Ezri Konsa's pre-match welcome following his £55 million move from Aston Villa was a reminder they've brought even greater strength and depth to that department as well. Tougher tests are to come with Aston Villa away and Chelsea at home next on the fixture list. But the Gunners Arsenal are going to take some stopping. Coventry, meanwhile, we'll be relieved they do not have to face Arsenal again. Yeah, until April. They host the Tigers Hull City next weekend in a fixture which will carry more significance for their season. Now, looking at the statistics, for what it's worth, of course, Arsenal were absolutely dominant in that encounter, had about 19 shots, 6 on target, 3 goals to show, had more ball possession, 65% ball possession, to Coventry City's 35%. Coventry had 4 shots, 1 on target, nothing coming out of it. Arsenal recorded about 590 passes in that encounter, with accuracy at 93%. Coventry, 343 passes with accuracy of 79%. Of course, the Gunners had 5 corners, to Coventry City's none. So, Coventry City, no corner whatsoever. Arsenal dominant as, it was very much a one-sided affair, Dr. Apollos.
It was a training for Arsenal. That was a training game. It was a training game. If you look at
nothing personal go see.
No, but I'm telling you, you see, you could read the mentality of a coach during a game. When you start removing your best players on the pitch and you're bringing players from the bench, it tells you the job is already done. It's
winning already.
Yeah, it's done.
Convincingly.
This game was won in the first half.
But I told you something off camera, like when we spoke over the phone, after the game, right? So that you look at, he did 5 substitutions. It's only normal now. You're allowed to make 5 subs, and it's a new season, first game of the season against a newly promoted side. By miles, the Gunners were the better of the two, even going into the game. So they still got consents. Game time for some players who are seemingly on the verge. I'm trying to head somewhere, right? I told you about, for instance, Myers Lewis Kelly. He's been linked away from the side. Talks about a possible extension at the side have actually broken down, and that's because of limited game time. Like, he feels at this point, he's young, but he feels like, okay, this is the best time to get regular minutes and all of that. I know he would get that at Arsenal, all right? But if a Myers Lewis Kelly, who is a really good midfielder, was to, if he's to find himself elsewhere, several top teams are interested in the services. Chelsea had even made inquiries, for instance. He'll get regular game time. And for every player, before you sign a contract, it's part of the agreement in black and white. For instance, will I get up to 30 appearances in the Premier League this season? How many starts? Am I guaranteed to start like 20 times? So all of those things are things that will be greatly considered. But at this point in time, it was only normal that Arteta hands game time to these players. It's called man management. It's a rare skill. You could be a good coach, but not a good man manager. So Arteta was trying to be really smart right there, saying, okay, Myers Lewis Kelly, come, you're an integral part of this. He started. He was the starting X1. So when you see such changes being made, I think it's a strategy, because if you fail to do that, the players, would begin to have doubt about their futures at the side. And don't forget, we have about up to 9 days or thereabout to the end of the transfer window, and then you never can tell. Teams will come out with outrageous sums or offers, and it might just be too hard or too difficult to turn down. I think that was just Arteta being smart.
I want to say something. Yesterday's game is not about Myers Lewis Kelly.
No, it's the entire. It's not just Myers, but I use him as a case study.
He could be benched if he wasn't doing well in training. He had shown that he could play well, and he was left on the pitch for 90 minutes. He played full time. Now, other players like Zubimendi and the rest usually are ahead of him, when it comes to
pecking order.
Yeah, pecking order. And you saw that they brought Zubimendi at some point in the game. Now the point is, Arsenal already had what they wanted to do with that game, and Miles Luke Kelly suited in that plan, and he delivered. And when they saw that they already won the match, they started taking off some of the players they felt they could rest and give others a chance to also prove themselves. And that's exactly what happened. So for Lewis Kelly, I think that as it's going this season, he will have a lot of playing time, because you cannot start a game, you play 90 minutes and you think you won't have a lot of playing time.
That's diplomacy. Ateta is, also trying to
Which
let
is
him
good.
know you're a
Which is
key part
good.
of this side.
Which is good.
But how well did Arsenal new signings perform in that very encounter? What's your assessment of the players?
Zolis is a wonderful signing.
No regrets.
That's a wonderful signing any day. I watched him closely because these are new players coming to the team. You want to see what they can offer. And you see his passes, his decision making.
Yeah.
It's not like, what's it called? It's not like Trossard or Martinelli that plays same wing and could lose balls carelessly. For every ball he had, he made sure that he made good use of it, even in delivering his passes. Timely. Yes, timely. He doesn't hold the ball too long. Once he holds the ball and see that somebody is running in, he lays the pass. And it helped the team. See the goal that was scored. He had the major contribution.
Yeah.
He was the one that gave the pass to Calafiori, who now brought
Teed
him.
up.
Yes, and you see the goal, wonderful goal, a goal of class and intelligence.
Okay.
So you see, Arsenal team is just complete, and I'm happy they are still building on what they already have.
Okay. They have to build. So does this result strengthen the Gunners' title credentials?
Yesterday I listened to some of the commentators from England, and they're all saying the same thing, that this title is for Arsenal to lose, because they've shown that, first of all, they have what it takes to retain the title. So they may likely retain this title. I told you yesterday that I predict a 3-0 win. And it was like I was joking.
I told you first before. I told you first. That was my prediction.
Now you're saying you're going to play what's it called, Aston Villa, then Chelsea,
and then the back line. I told you about the starting X1. You saw it happen.
Yeah,
the guys I mentioned at the back were very much in the starting X1.
Yes.
Even most of my X1, the guys. So
you made a good prediction as well. But see, the next two games, Aston Villa and Chelsea, those teams are not in the same class with Arsenal, at least for this moment. So I don't see any of them beating Arsenal. That I can tell you, yes.
Okay. Now let's look at the games to look forward to. Let's start off with Manchester United. They play today, lunchtime kickoff, 12:30 p.m. All right, so
they lost now.
They lost. Yeah, lunchtime
Are you
kickoff.
saying
They
they will
lost.
play today? They've played.
No,
and
like
they
I
lost.
said, like they played today.
Okay.
Yeah, they played today. Earlier today, lunchtime kickoff.
And they are the ones that say they want
2-0.
to win the league.
Yeah, but you could lose your first game and still go on to win the league.
It's possible.
So the impossible takes a little longer. You could also win your first game of the season and still go on to
lose the league.
and still go even trophyless. So what would even profit a team to win, like Arsenal, for
to
instance?
win their first game.
No, like
and lose the
Arsenal, they
trophy.
went unbeaten throughout the UEFA Champions League, but they don't get trophy to show. That's like vanity upon vanity.
No,
So the end
You
result
can't
is
say
what
that.
the end
You
is what
can't say that.
matters.
See,
No, let's not even. I don't even want you to. I wouldn't like you to
Okay.
explain, because there's no time. If you allow you use 2 days to explain, to try to convince us that they deserve the title. But it's fine. I understand, and as I wish Arsenal the best. So
they will do well. I keep saying
But
it. I'm
Manchester-
not saying it because I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm saying it because I've seen their level of preparation.
Okay.
And what they are doing in the market, how they are trying to, build what they already have.
Okay.
Build on what they already have.
Okay. Okay. So now let's talk about United. 2-0. They lost to the Tigers. Talking about Hull City, and of course, Hull City have just returned to the Premier League. First time in a long while. They had United stung. Yeah, it was a solid performance. They gave a good account of themselves, and I like to tell you, for what it's worth, it's a remarkable result for the side, and they need to keep up this momentum going forward. Hull City. Can United? How long would they need to rediscover themselves and going forward?
United finished last season very well. So for me, I was surprised to see that they lost today. I didn't really expect them to lose. At worst, they could have gone home with a draw. But that the loss is giving me concern. I'm beginning to think what has gone wrong. But I don't think it's something that will last for too long. I think they'll correct their mistakes.
Okay.
They'll bounce back.
And then give us another run for the monies.
But they won't win the league.
Okay, so let's say that you know, we got games ongoing already. The Toffees Everton are in action as we speak. So they got Eagles Crystal Palace to worry about, and the Tractor Boys Ipswich Town are currently playing the Black Cats Sunderland. Of course, the Tractor Boys Ipswich Town against the Black Cats. An interesting game, I tell you. Nottingham Forest against Leeds United is another game that's ongoing. Brentford and Tottenham Hotspur will be seen later at exactly 5:30 p.m. I'm looking forward to that London derby. Brentford, Tottenham Hotspur, and for Roberto Di Zerbi, he's made some really good signings already, and they are still signing. They are not done yet. So what's your expectation going into the new season for Spurs?
For Tottenham, I think that game will show how well they have prepared and how far they can go in the season. It's difficult for me to predict the game because these derbies can go anyway. Yeah. But I feel Tottenham has the edge. So let's see what comes out of that game today. But whatever they do today will be a pointer to what they will do overall in the season.
Okay. All right, now let's move on to the games on Sunday, where the Seagulls, Brighton and Hove Albion will lock horns with the Lions, Aston Villa. A lunchtime kickoff at 2 p.m. precisely. Same time we'll have the Citizens of Manchester, talking about City, go against the Sheriffs, AFC Bournemouth. And for the Magpies, Newcastle, they got Merseysiders, Liverpool to worry about at exactly 4:30 p.m. What's it like for you, Dr. Polos? You know, Liverpool going into the game, they got the Magpies to worry about. Newcastle, what's it like? Anthony Iraola, first game in charge of the side, first competitive game. What do you make of that one?
Liverpool should win, even if Newcastle are playing at home.
Okay.
Liverpool should win.
So it's W Liverpool in the chart?
That's what I think.
Okay.
That's what I think. And the other games like Man City versus Bournemouth, I'm having the feeling, you know, Bournemouth was the team that messed Man City up towards the end of the season, last season. So
we've lost Iraola, lost some key players. Well,
yeah, but you see, football to some extent is a mentality thing. When you believe that you can beat a team, any day you meet them, you bring up.
So Coventry had no belief that they'll beat Arsenal.
Coventry is not in the. Okay, let's not even go there. Coventry is far away from Arsenal in terms of strength.
Okay. All right. Now let's look at Monday Night Football, where the Cottagers Fulham will lock horns with the London rivals, talking about Chelsea. 8 p.m. the time for that one. So the Cottagers would host the Blues at Craven Cottage. I'm looking forward to that very encounter in the opening round of the new Premier League season. It's a London derby and Xabi Alonso's first competitive Premier League match as Chelsea manager. Fulham will look to make home advantage count and frustrate a Chelsea side entering a new era. The Cottagers have shown they can be difficult, opponents at Craven Cottage, while Harry Wilson and Raul Jimenez provide important attacking threats. So, however, Fulham will be without Tom Carney, who is dealing with injury. Chelsea arrived with plenty of optimism following a productive pre-season under Alonso. They ended their preparations with a 3-1 victory over Real Sociedad, with João Pedro scoring twice in that very encounter. So João Pedro was Chelsea's leading scorer last season with 20 goals in all competitions, and his form will be one of the major storylines heading into the derby. He's also signed a new contract, keeping him at the side until 2034. Chelsea's new £170 million signing Morgan Rogers will also attract plenty of attention as Alonso begins his competitive reign right there at the side. Dr. Paulus, can Alonso start his new reign with a victory?
Derbies are difficult to call.
Yeah, really dull and never quite.
Difficult. It looks as if Chelsea has the edge in this game, but I won't be surprised if it turns out to be a draw.
Oh,
Yeah, Monday nights. You have a lot of draws in Monday night football.
So will João Pedro continue his impressive scoring form this season? Last
Most
time,
likely.
20 goals.
Most likely.
Okay.
Most likely.
Okay.
He's one player that has kept Chelsea going.
Oh. Okay.
Look at what he did last season.
So
and he's showing signs
But-
this season as well.
Oh, yeah, that was his debut season at Chelsea. Okay, debut and then return. Okay, 2 seasons. Okay, now, can Fulham exploit Chelsea's defensive weaknesses?
It's possible, and that's why I said it could be a draw.
Okay.
You know, I see Chelsea having the edge, but it could turn out to be a drawn game.
Okay.
That means both sides will score. Yes.
And really, let's look at this. We're out of time already, but how will Alonso's tactical system, right, perform in a competitive match? Like, I'm thinking three at the back. He went with 5 initially in preseason. It didn't quite work out. 10-3 after I think about 2-3 games, and then they had pretty good runs. So 3 at the back, same as Antonio Conte when Chelsea last won the league in 2017. All right, and he used three men at the back. That was 2016-2017, and Chelsea finished 10th on the log in 2015-2016. You know, interestingly, last season, 25-26, they finished 10th on the log, yeah? And then 3 at the back, similar playing pattern. What's it like? A lot of things tactically. What's it like? Would it work out well? What will best suit this Chelsea side, you think?
Well, you can't really predict a system until you start applying it, and it's your understanding of the system and how the players, you know, key into it and execute it that makes the difference. If the players are able to, I remember that Conte season, the season you're talking about.
Yeah, 2016-2017.
Moses was in that team, and he played as one of the wing backs.
Yeah,
and he did a lot. In fact, that was amongst one of his best seasons in the Premiership. So it depends on how the players apply the system. If it's a system that suits them and they enjoy playing it, then you are sure that you have a team that can make good progress.
Well, interesting. The question is, or the question remains, can Fulham produce a London derby upset against the Blues? Talking about Chelsea. Interestingly, only time will tell. This is where we get to put a pin. We can't go any further. Been a great time with you out there right here on Sports 360. You are the real MVP. Dr. Apollos, thanks for all. I mean, it's always a great time doing this with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
It's always been my pleasure to be here.
Okay. All right. Be sure to follow us on all social media platforms at CEMTV Plus on YouTube, Instagram, Threads, Facebook, TikTok, and of course X, formerly Twitter. I remain that name, you know, the voice you trust and that mayor you probably need. They call me Rex Patrick the Knocker. That's home, but that's never at home. They say home is where your heart lies. This is home for me, so I look around 247-365. Who read? They serious, but now who pass? Now he no book. For now, it's a wrap.